ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రంలో మన అనేక ప్రభుత్వ యూనివర్సిటీలు ఉన్నాయి. కనీసం ఒక్క యూనివర్సిటీ అయినా టాప్ 100 యూనివర్సిటీస్ ఇన్ వరల్డ్లో తీసుకురమ్మని గౌరవ ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు నాకు ఆదేశాలు జారీ చేశారు. ఇట్స్ నైదర్ అ జోక్ నార్ మ్యాజిక్. It requires concerted efforts from all of us, right from the government, faculty, academicians, alumni in particular, and the industrialists. I want to take this opportunity to extend a heartfelt appeal to you, our distinguished alumni. You are the pride of the universities and the torch bearers of its illustrious legacies. Your achievements across diverse fields are a testament to the solid foundations laid by Andhra University. Now it is time to give back to this institution that gave us so much. Mentoring our current students is one of the most impactful ways you can contribute. Your guidance, drawn from your rich professional and personal experience, can help shape the aspirations and careers of our young minds who are in front of us. By becoming mentors, you can inspire and empower them to dream big, work hard, and achieve greatness. We will create a platform for all the alumni for a meaningful participation and partnership in rebuilding the ecosystem of higher education of excellence. I would like to thank GMR Garu for offering his service. Sir, rest assured, after this meeting, I will pester you on a daily basis to ensure that we create an advisory board of sorts for this great institution, and we will work together in ensuring that Andhra University finds its lost glory. Industry Connect is also a critical step to strengthen Andhra University. As alumni, you are in unique position to bridge the gap between academia and industry. Your networks and influence can pave the way for partnership that brings internships, live projects, and real-world insights to our students. These connections will not only enhance the employability of our graduates, but also position Andhra University as a hub for innovation and research. The government of Andhra Pradesh is fully committed to the revival of Andhra University. We have launched a series of initiatives aimed at improving infrastructure, modernizing the curriculum, enhancing the overall academic experience. Faculty recruitment drives are underway to attract the best talent, ensuring our students are mentored by top-notch educators. As the Minister for Education, I am committed to transforming education from KG to PG. Our gross enrollment ratio in higher education has stagnated around 25%. Our key initiatives include a curriculum overall, modernizing the curriculum to meet global standards. Focused academics, ensuring teachers concentrate on teaching while administrative tasks are handled separately. Adequate staffing, recruitment process will be expedited to ensure universities are adequately staffed, and maximizing funds by leveraging every available central, state and alumni funds for the development of higher education institutions. With the support from multiple sources, we wish to ensure Andhra University to establish an artificial center of excellence to become a global incubation hub with world-class facility, and soon we will have one major announcement coming to Andhra University. Without hesitation, I'd like to give one stark reality and dichotomy. We at the universities and higher education institutions are taking students for 3-4 year graduation courses but miserably failed making them job ready. Whereas training centers elsewhere are able to make them job ready in 3-4 months. It's a serious problem to be addressed on a war footing, and we as state government are committed to it. Government of Andhra Pradesh has taken the prestigious project called Skill Census, wherein skills profile of all citizens are assessed, skill gaps are identified, and skill training shall be imparted for upskilling, reskilling, and to make them not only relevant for jobs, but to give them a lifelong journey of learning. Likewise, profiles of all students in the university shall be created with their passion and aspirations. A skill passport shall be created and connect them to the mentor industry for training and make them job ready. We shall also bring out an Andhra model of education, revamping the entire academic landscape by making curriculum industry-oriented and graduates with enterprising abilities with greater confidence to face the new challenges in the world. However, we should never forget the importance of value-based education, including civic awareness, humanism, treating women with due respect, and environmental sustainability. Finally, let us work hand in hand to rebuild Andhra University into an institution that not only meets but excels in global standards of excellence. Let us ensure that this university continues to nurture generations of leaders in all walks of life, entrepreneurs, technocrats, professionals, artists, social scientists, public administrators, and of course, politicians who will shape the future of our nation and beyond. Today, when we had the introduction and the anthem song played, I saw a lot of alumni, illustrious alumni. But I feel we have missed a generation, and all of you here should take the pride of Andhra University forward. As we move forward, I invite each one of you to be part of this transformational journey. Let us pledge today to bring back the glory of Andhra University, making it a symbol of excellence, innovation, and inspiration once again. Thank you, and I look forward to your valuable contributions. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Started life in humble beginnings and now leads the most respected establishment of our country, and how. He stands as tall as the structures he creates, still humble. We have a short video capturing his 40-year journey in L&T. Sir, with your permission, we'd like to play that video. Sir, with your permission, we'd like to play your video. Thank you.
Began with Baha'i, then with B. SNS's 40-year story. You made a mark with your very first venture and started a 4-decade-long adventure. You began with Baha'i, then with BSC Tower and ICICI. You reached for the sky. You can read how the market ticks. High-tech city, high-techs, and ready mix. You sailed to new shores and unlocked closed doors. At your fingertips, you had all the facts as you bid for major contracts. Higher and higher you soared. In 2011, you joined the L&T board. By giving wings to town and city, you enhanced India's connectivity. We say it often, we say it aloud. L&T makes the nation proud. Building the world's tallest statue was a feat. In 33 months, every benchmark you meet. Your motto, plan daringly, execute caringly. You don't rest, you are always on the go. And in 2017, became MD and CEO. In 2023, Chairman and MD. to see. Your message to the youth: push the envelope and never lose hope. Charming, assertive, quick-thinking and bold. A versatile leader who's broken the mold. Now it's time to celebrate and say cheers. At L&T you've seen 40 glorious years.
Thank you. Thank you. That's in a very, very short synopsis, the chief guest that we have for you. I request Dr. Kumar Raja to introduce our chief guest, and then we'll invite you for your address, sir. So just allow us to introduce you. We just allow us to introduce you.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, distinguished guests, respected faculty, dear Sravani, and dear students, good evening to all of you. It's a moment of great pride and honor to be here with you all for this 2024 Andhra University's annual alumni meet. This occasion is a celebration of shared legacy, the milestones we achieved, and the enduring bonds that tie us to Andhra University, an esteemed institution of our nation. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished chief guest, a visionary leader, an exemplary professional, and inspiring human being, Sri S.N. Subramanian Garu, fondly known as Sri SNS. Sri S.N. Subramanian is a chairman and managing director of Larsen & Toubro. He is a towering figure in the world of engineering, infrastructure, and technology. In his tenure at L&T, he guided the organization to the unprecedented heights, establishing it as a global powerhouse across diverse industries. This year marks a remarkable milestone in his journey, a 40 years association with L&T, a testament to his commitment, vision, and transformative leadership. Let us take a moment to extend our heartfelt congratulations to Sri SNS Garu for his extraordinary achievements. Hailing from Chennai, Sri Subramanian's illustrious journey began with a degree in civil engineering from the National Institute of Technology, Kurukshetra, followed by a postgraduate degree in business management from Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune, and an executive management program from the London Business School. Starting as a project planning engineer in 1994, he rose through the ranks, leaving an indelible mark on L&T's infrastructure business and transforming it into India's largest and among the biggest globally. Under his leadership, L&T has delivered iconic projects like the Statue of Liberty, Ayodhya Ram Mandir, just to see the clipping, Narendra Modi Stadium, and Atal Setu, among many others. Each of these achievements reflects his visionary mindset and ability to turn ambitious ideas into reality. Sri Subramanian has spearheaded L&T's foray into uncharted territories, driving his expansion across Middle East, Africa, and Asia, while embracing digitalization, green energy, and a people-first culture. His leadership has earned L&T's prestigious recognitions, including being named among Forbes' world's best employer and Asia's most honored companies. Beyond his professional terms, Sri SNS Garu is a multifaceted individual, a cricket enthusiast, an avid runner, and a lover of Western classical music. He exemplifies the balance between professional excellence and personal passion. As a recipient of numerous awards, including the Eminent Engineer Award this year, and a feature on Fortune magazine cover as India's best CEO, Sri SNS Garu continues to inspire the generations while his visionary, with his visionary leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm and a resounding welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Sri Ysrcp. Sir, please.
Good evening. Good evening. Come on, you guys are dead. Good evening. Good evening. Thank God I did some engineering, I was able to put it back. Nice to be here. Good evening once again. Good evening. Finally some life, okay. So, it's a pleasure to be back in a university and not been to one for a very long time. And when J. Rao Garu called me to his native place to see two massive institutions today, took my head off. The J. Rao Garu Foundation, the various institutes that he has created there, the engineering college, the medical college, the general institutes, the skill training institutes, the sports institutes, and many of the facilities which I did not have the time to see was something really mind-boggling. I could make a fun presentation there. I did ask whether I could do the same fun presentation. They said no, ministers are here, members of parliament are here, very senior people are here, you have no right to do all those things. So I said I'll speak in a very straight and clean manner. So that's what I'm trying to do. Let me try my best. So, Mr. Nara Lokesh, lovely meeting you, sir. And great that you could find time to come here on this pre-100th celebration of this lovely and beautiful university, which is very well known. Mr. J. Rao Garu, it's always a pleasure. In fact, my career in NIT is because of it, that many people don't talk about it, but I have to tell it. I have no inhibition in telling it. As J. Rao grew faster, my promotions also became faster. So I only pray to God that he keeps growing faster, but I have no more promotions to get. But, but I hope he continues to grow from that point of view. It's, my career was doing projects for J. Rao Guru and the Hyderabad airport, the Delhi airport. We missed the Goa airport, but now we're doing the Bhogapuram airport. We hope to complete it. Then Mr. J. Rao Garu was telling December 26, Nara Lokesh was telling me June 26. I was thinking of what to answer. So I'll find a middle date, September 26 will complete it. So that's the way it is. So, and it's terrific to see some of the beautiful edifices being put up in this country, because airports are an entry point to any country or any state or any city. And when you have these lovely looking structures, you really feel attracted to visit the city again and again, not only for the airport, because the airport looks good, the city has to look good, right? So that's the way the world is. Padma Dr. S.V. Adinarayana Rao, orthopedic surgeon. So lovely to hear your history. I don't know much about you, but the kind of operations you've done, the kind of people you've treated is mind-boggling. I don't think people like me will achieve anywhere near even 0.01% of what you've done. But having said that, phenomenal achievement and mind-boggling achievement, sir. Full credit to you and your family. Dr. R. Sasi Pradhan, former Director of Medical Education, Government of Andhra Pradesh. Sri Bharat, Member of Parliament. I just got to know him. And very easygoing gentleman, nice to speak to. So lovely speaking to you and lovely meeting you, so we'll be in touch. I didn't know he runs one of the largest education institutions in this part of the country, and great meeting you, sir. Mr. M.R.D. Shankar Rao, Chairman Andhra University Alumni Association. I think that's phenomenal to have, 300,000 students and keeping in touch with them with the register and sending email to them and managing it. He said it's simply brilliantly done. And lovely to see many of Mr. J. Rao's classmates, batchmates and friends sitting all there. I'm surprised because even my SRINIVASRAO friend is not coming when I call him, and you all come after 55 years to this function is really brilliant. That is superb networking and fantastic way of connecting with people. And he has done it without email and all that in those days, and still you're all connected. So really brilliant. So I don't know why they invented email. They should have invented J. Rao and it would have all been done. Mr. Dr. K. Kumar Raja, Vice Chairman, Andhra University Alumni Association. Professor G. Sasibhushan Rao, Vice Chancellor, Andhra University. And BVN Garu, GVS Garu, I think he's not there, but Srinivas Garu, IPR Garu, all these are people whom I've grown up with, and lovely to meet all of you. I thought instead of getting into the typical thing of university and all that, I will tell you some four things which I believe will affect humankind as we go forward. And I think that's very important for us to perceive and understand. I'll not take much time about it because I sense unease, and many of you have been sitting here for more than 2 hours now. I guess many of you want to go to washrooms. The volunteers there are preventing you, so I'll try to do it very fast. So one is a human change, right? There's a massive human change occurring. I don't know how many of you are realizing it, understanding it. The world is getting into a very difficult situation because of this human change. One is the migration from the southern part of America to the northern part of America, because simply wealth is there, money is there, and food is there. The second is a massive movement of population from Africa into Europe. What the Byzantine Empire could not do, what Genghis Khan could not do, the modern invasion is doing that the huge amount of population from Africa is moving into Europe, and that is creating cultural issues, that's creating ghettos, that's creating difference in how people get along with each other and how people behave with each other. And that will lead to huge problems in many parts of not only Eastern Europe but also Western Europe. There are also problems in our part of the world, migration from Bangladesh into India because of the economic issues there. Migration within the states, we have a reverse problem. If I tell you, will you believe me, we employ about 400,000 laborers at any given point of time. If I tell you today I'm not getting laborers, it's be a very surprising thing. And when I tell it to many of my foreign counterparts, they are stunned. A country of 1.4 billion people, SNS, and you say you can't get laborers? I said, yes, they are not getting. At the moment, we need about 45 to 50,000 laborers. This is because in India, the reverse thing is happening. People are not migrating. The reason being that, number one, I think the economy is doing reasonably well. That's 6 to 8%. And therefore, there is reasonable amount of economic activity in every town and villages. Normally in India, the migration was from the eastern states, the western and southern states, which are reasonably much more economically well leveled. But that's not happening at the same momentum as that was happening, let's say, prior to COVID. Second, I think the implementation of the MREGA scheme and implementation of some of the schemes like electrification and Har Ghar Jal Mission, etc., is providing necessary facilities to people right at where they stay. And therefore, there's not much of a need to migrate to difficult places like Bombay, Vizag, Delhi, wherever to sit and work, because at the end of the day, when you migrate, you're in a different situation, you're in a foreign situation, you have to manage tough life, etc., and your family is somewhere else. Most important also, there's another set of area which is booming very well, which is the Middle East. Middle East is really booming with the present oil prices. A lot of migrations of Indians to Middle East. We're doing quite reasonably well in the Middle East, and I'd gone to the Saudi and many of the Middle Eastern kingdoms to request the head of ministry there in charge of labor, but they also have what is called a Saudiization, and they have quota system for laborers. So many times I have gone there to request them to allow more Indian laborers to be employed by us, because we're not getting people from some other parts of the world which you normally get. And therefore, all this is becoming issues which we are unable to grapple with. What this means is companies like us will find it difficult to grow, because we grow only if people are employed. We still do the brick and mortar work, and therefore we need labor. The second form of migration that is happening is all you highly educated, lovely looking boys and girls do not want to join this business called construction, because we make you stand aside and tie a piece of rod and put some shuttering and pour some concrete, and you guys don't like it. All of you are used to this beautiful air-conditioned auditorium, and therefore you want to sit in front of the piano and play the piano, the computer keyboard. And therefore nobody wants to come and work in the construction site. I have a joke which says CSR is equal to BP. CSR is not corporate social responsibility. It's concrete shuttering reinforcement. BP is not blood pressure. BP is blood pressure. It is not. BP is not blood pressure. BP is, that brick and plaster work. So CSR is equal to BP, and that none of you like to do it, because all of you want to play in front of the computer, or you like to work in a retail shop. And therefore all this is leading to a point where we're not able to attract the best of talent to work in an industry like where I am, or we're not able to get labor to pour the CSR that I'm talking about. So this is a very unique problem. The next issue that is coming in the human capital is the population. I think there's a general fertility decline across the globe. India is still very high. But India is also declining. Maybe certain parts of the western and southern states are declining a lot more than the northern states. That's got certain other issues to go with. I'm not an expert in that. But having said that, generally the world is seeing a decline in fertility, and two, the aging of the population. Second point that I'd like to highlight is the sustainability issues. Not many of us apply a mind onto it. We still feel that is somebody else's problem. You see the stubble burning in certain parts of the country. You see the pollution created by the coal plants. You see the oil spills and various forms of carbon created by the ICE vehicles, as they call it, internal combustion engines. And that's rapidly changing. The advent of companies like Tesla, BYD, and India now Ola, and many EV vehicles that have come about by various automobile companies has suddenly shifted the fulcrum from an oil consumption to an electric vehicle consumption. We never thought about it for some time. In our own country, with the fantastic policies from the central government, you suddenly find huge amount of solar plants have come up in many parts of the country, especially in Rajasthan and Gujarat, where a fair amount of land is available because of the desert or the salt kind of situation. If I can tell you that another 50 to 60 gigawatts of solar plants will come up in Rajasthan and Gujarat in the next few years because land is available. We ourselves are building nearly 8 gigawatts in Saudi Arabia. We ourselves can't believe it. And Saudi economy, which was producing 12 million barrels of oil per day, is now come down to 8 million barrels of oil a day because one, the general oil consumption has come down across the world. Second, Saudi realized that 30% of the oil they produce was being burnt internally and they could not sell it outside to make that $75, $80 per barrel. So they are now using solar power to funnel that and thereby reducing the dependence on internal oil consumption and selling oil more. So these are all revolutionary changes that occurred. Wind was never thought about. Of course, India is not endowed with too much wind except for some in the southern part of the country and some in the middle, in the Solapur other areas, and maybe in Gujarat area. But wind is still very costly from an Indian point of view. Trust me if I tell you, some of the world's largest wind platforms, these are very unique platforms where there are huge jackets which goes into the sea and huge HVDC and HVAC platforms are being fabricated by us in a yard at Kattupalli, not very far away from here. So these are 35,000 tons, 55,000 tons of fabrication, which we then take it by barge into North Sea or into the US Atlantic coast, and then we erect it onto the sea there to generate wind. These are 15 megawatt wind farms, and there is one which is nearly 20 megawatt of turbine which is going on. So these are absolutely radical changes which are occurring. This does not mean that the oil form is going to go away, but what it says is that there's a new form of energy coming up which is renewable or clean. Nuclear was a bad word. Can you believe it now when you say that Microsoft is going to buy 3 Mile Island? Can you trust me now when I say Google is going to build its own nuclear power plant? That situation is very difficult. In reality, you cannot buy a nuclear power plant. But in the United States, it's happening because huge data centers are coming up, which are power guzzlers because of the data they use, and therefore these companies find the grid is not able to supply, and they're buying huge nuclear power plants, clean energy, to power the data centers. This is a phenomenon which is unheard of and is happening too rapidly, too fast. Suddenly, people are talking about small reactors and medium reactors, which are 5 megawatt, 20 megawatt, maybe 200 megawatt. And we are also talking to some of these guys to see whether we can make it in India. Still in India, the regulations are not there because anything to do with nuclear has got the Civil Nuclear Liability Act, and also the fact that NPC is the only company allowed to do nuclear power plants. But who knows, when necessity arises, things change, and things change very radically and rapidly. So the clean energy is becoming a different way to look at it. Green energy is becoming a different way to look at it. One never heard of hydrogen as a fuel. So it's a cryogenic fuel. It can burn fast. But suddenly hydrogen is being talked about, and not normal hydrogen, but green hydrogen. So you make solar or wind, and then you burn the water, separated hydrogen and oxygen, and hydrogen used as a fuel cells, etc. Maybe transported as ammonia, reconverted into hydrogen in use. It's still very costly compared to the normal fuel, but at some point of time, if hydrogen comes below $1.5 per kilogram, it is as good as the oil at about 65, 70 dollars per barrel, and you can have hydrogen as an alternate fuel. So sustainability is going to become a very, very important factor in the world as we go forward, because not only from a climatic point of view, the temperatures are rising, we find it difficult, but at the same time, if the world has to survive and the climatic change from 1.5 degrees centigrade, around that it has to be kept, unless you radically change your mind and do something different. I can tell you the more advanced countries with their cloud will put out norms that if you are not sustainable, if you are not green, you will not be allowed to export. You will not be allowed to visit their countries. So all these kind of funny norms will come. And if you don't anticipate it and change ourselves to be somewhat where we need to be, we'll find it difficult. An investment coming into a state, if the state is not having enough green power, the investment will move away from the state to another state. And that's what the leadership should think about, because these are all dramatic changes that occur. The third point that I'd like to emphasize on is the digital change, which is totally stunning, right? It's a terrible thing that is going to happen. This is making people like me outdated, absolutely outdated. You can say I run a highly technologically complex company, but I can tell you 90% of my mind is seeing bullshit in front of me because I just don't understand this technological change. I go into my office and suddenly somebody says, sir, AI use kar raha hoon, Gen A use kar raha hoon, Chat GPT use kar raha hoon, machine learning use kar raha hoon. I know concrete shuttering reinforcement. I don't understand many of these things. Today, in this university, I had a chance, the professor took me to one of the AI labs there, some very young kids, maybe younger than their son also, doing all kinds of AI work, and they were so enthusiastic in explaining to me. Did not allow me to spend too much time there because we had to come here, the minister was coming. But very exciting it was what they were doing, and one guy had even found a bike with some LFP technology, and these are forerunners of what can happen in the world.
4 సంవత్సరాల కష్టం 700కు పైగా టెస్ట్ ఫ్లైట్స్ ఏంటో
One welder sitting in one air-conditioned booth is now doing 3 overlay weldings of huge reactors.
కస్టమర్లు అంటే దేవుళ్ళతో సమానవరా, స్మూత్గా డీల్ చేయాలి. ఇలా చూడ్డానికి వచ్చిన కస్టమర్తో అలా సేల్ చేసి పంపించాలి. అది ఆ సేల్ అంటే.
జల్దీ రారా బాబు, ఈ మేనేజర్ ఏదో పెద్ద మీటింగ్ పెట్టేలా ఉన్నాడు.
అరే రే, కొంచెం మేనేజర్ వస్తున్నారు, ఆంది వేరా. అసలు ఏమనుకుంటారా మేనేజర్ గారు? షోరూమ్ కొనాలనుకుంటున్నా, పిచ్చుకుక్కలు కరుస్తున్నాడు. చెప్పండి మేడం, ఈ బండి కోసం చూస్తున్నారు?
బాబు, ఈ బండి ఎంత?
జస్ట్ 2 లక్షలే మేడం.
2 లక్షలా? ఒక 50,000 చేసుకో బాబు.
అమ్మా, అట్లా అడగకూడదే.
నేను బైక్ కొనుక్కుని ఒక్కదాన్ని అలా వెళ్తుంటే, చల్లని గాలి నన్ను తాకుతుంటే, అందరూ నన్నే చూస్తుంటే ఆ ఫీలే వేరు.
గుద్దినావా? ఇందాక అనుకున్నా మహాతల్లి దర్శనం ఇంకా కాలేదా అని.
నేనేం గుద్దలే, నువ్వే ఫాస్ట్ వచ్చి నన్ను గుద్దిను.
అసలు నీకు బండి రాంది, ఎందుకు నడుపుతున్నావే?
రాదు కాబట్టి నేర్చుకుంటున్నా. అమ్మ, నాకు బండి ఎప్పుడు కొనిస్తున్నావు?
ఏంటే కొనిచ్చేది? నీకు బైక్ నడపడమే రాదు, మూసుకొని ఇంట్లో పని చేయపో.
నువ్వు ఫస్ట్ చెప్తేనే కానీ నేను ఏ పని చేయ.
బండి నంబర్ ప్లేట్ చూస్తే మన ఏరియా బండిలో లేదు. ఈ రోజు ఎవరు తీసుకున్నావక్క?
ఇది మా ఇంటికి ఒక అంకుల్ వచ్చాడు, ఆయనది.
నీ గురించి తెలిసే ఇచ్చాడక్క.
మా అంకుల్ మాట్లాడుతూ కీస్ చైర్ మీద పెడితే మెల్లిగా తెలియకుండా తీసేస్తున్నా.
నిన్న నా బండి గుర్తు, ఈ రోజు మీది.
These kind of things are conceivable today, which was not conceivable a few years back. So I think there's a dramatic change in the world, and therefore all you young boys and girls sitting out there, I tell you, the world is very promising and terrifically full of opportunities for all of you. Just my little company is sitting with a backlog of nearly 6 lakh crores. That is 3 years of work, and we need all of you to join. And if you give your application, I'll recruit all of you. So that's the kind of opportunity that is available, not only in India, in the parts of the world that we are prevalent and present, and therefore plenty of things to do, plenty of opportunities to have. And I was not surprised when the Vice Chancellor told me that 85% of the students are graduating and getting absorbed in one company or the other. And that's the way the world is. Just simply astonishing amount of work available, astonishing amount of things to do. And India itself, you see, it's a steady government, both at the center and the states, very young leaders coming to the top, which is refreshing. I don't know how many of you know Carnegie Mellon, Stanford, MBA. I don't know how many leaders in the world are like that. I think you must be 1 or 2 like that. And therefore, this is an incredible situation that you have, because Mr. Naidu himself is technologically far advanced, and now his son is becoming more than him, and therefore it's a plus situation for Andhra Pradesh, and a mind-boggling situation out here. And I can tell you this is just never-ending story, and it's a very prosperous situation. So, ladies and gentlemen, really appreciate you letting me speak what I wanted to speak in a manner that I speak, and without any PowerPoint or presentations. I'm not used to this because I'm not a politician, and therefore it's difficult for me to talk just like that, but I think I managed it. But wonderful to be here in front of all of you in this great time when you're celebrating the birth anniversary of the founder, Vice Chancellor, Sir C.R. Reddy. And more important, I think next year is your 100th year. How many institutions have been alive for 100 years? You are a very rare gem, let me tell you that. And that, many of you alumni have achieved fantastic things in the world through Nobel laureates, president, vice president, people like Jimrao Garu. I think it's an unbelievable university, and it's got miles to go, and beautiful campus of 500 acres where you get it, and everything going for you guys. I think most important, I think maybe the last time I come to Vizag before the Christmas and New Year, let me take the opportunity to wish all of you, your families, your loved ones, a very Merry Christmas, a very happy, prosperous, lovely, great, superb and fantastic New Year. All the very best in everything that you do. God bless all of you.